8th house Mercury. Now, if you haven't watched the intro video, maybe you should watch that. I actually talked a little bit about Mercury in the 8th house because this is what I got. Now, Mercury in the 8th house. Now, the 8th house kind of is other people's possessions. And when you're putting your own area of life in which the way you relate ideas is playing in the 8th house, you're really going to be using your mind to understand other people's mind, or your mind is going to be in other people's pants. Um, Especially the 8th house representing a certain sexuality, hidden side of things, and bringing a certain transformation to what's in there, and you got Mercury in there, so it might make you interested in things that are of other people, so things that other people kind of hold for themselves and don't really show. You're gonna see this as a Mercury in the 8th house. I can tell when someone is lying to me. I might not know what the lie is, but I'll see like some snake's eyes, or the way they're shaking my hand, or I'm gonna be able to feel the emotional foundation of what I see. And with any Scorpio energy, I think it's important to consider that it's not always of the best interest to tell others what you see. Sometimes I feel it might not be the best to tell a liar how you see them lying, because that's gonna enable them to really get, they're gonna be able to not do it again, and then they'll have like kind of like this perception that you had of them, this behind the filter perception that they must not be able to have, or they're gonna use it to trick others. So with your Mercury in the 8th house, and I'm talking about myself here, perhaps you can relate because my Mercury is actually in Pisces, so I can relate to you by talking about me, and vice versa, yin yang. See, I forgot what I was gonna say. I swear I'm not hiding it, I just forgot. Anyhow, so this is kind of like the 8th house energy. You might be interested in the occult, interested in the emotional foundations of people and why that makes them talk a certain way, why that makes them unify ideas in this certain way. Interest in secret societies, interest in other people's secrets, and you might be keeping them for yourself, or from yourself. That was a funny slip there. Because sometimes I feel like my 8th house Mercury could go and look into another's secrets, but it is by respect that I choose not to do so. I remember, oh, this is cool. I remember watching like a Spider-Man cartoon when I was young, and in it was like Spider-Man with the Daredevil, and the Daredevil dude can kind of see behind mask. You can see behind mask. You could see behind a certain costume. You could see it could see behind Spider-Man's costume. And by the end of the show, I think at first they're kind of like enemies, which it's really an 8th house energy. At first they're like enemies, which is so Martian and Plutonian, like the energy of the 8th house in Scorpio. But as the show progresses, they kind of start being friends, or whatever, and the allies, I should say. And by the end, when Spider-Man knows that Daredevil kind of can see through his mask, he says, "So you know who I am?" And then Daredevil is like, "Oh, I could see who you are, but I choose not to do so by respect for your integrity, And I think that's kind of like the 8th house energy in a sense. You have to be fixed. And even when it was his enemy, or perhaps I'm adding this part of the story, but even when he was his enemy, he chose not to see, So this is really the fixed energy of the 8th house. And I think it's really being able to see other people's mind. So in a sense, so that you could bring a certain sense of transformation, and so that you could respect the Plutonian and Mars aspect of things, so that you could see the intentions, Mars, and see the hidden side of things, Pluto, and bring the certain transformation. And this is 8th house Mercury for you.